We live in a society now where the majority of us spend the majority of our time reading about things that are over-dramatized, they're overly controversial, and we've left ourselves no room to be creative and imaginative. In this video, I'm going to talk about the benefits of reading because I think it's actually a skill that a lot of us have forgotten how to do. And the little bit of reading that we do each day is usually the news or sitting on our phones, doom scrolling on social media, reading about stuff that either is irrelevant, it's sensationalized, it's made up, and that's the way we live now. And no wonder we're all screwed up. No wonder that we spend most of our time anxious and worried about things that's going to happen. Now, don't get me wrong. The melting of the polar ice cap, the climate changes, the conflict in the Middle East, these are all really serious issues. But we can't afford to allow ourselves to get completely absorbed in all this stuff 24 hours a day where we're just reading about it, we're reading about everything bad that's going on, but we're not being presented any solutions. And we're getting more anxious, we're getting more hypervigilant, we're getting more nervous every single day. And we've given ourselves no time to relax, no time to chill out, and no time to give ourselves the breathing space that we need to handle the stuff that's actually facing us. So, what about this reading business? When I was a kid, we used to get really engrossed in these things called books. You know what I mean? These books, which are pieces of paper with writing on it, which are bound together and they tell a story. They have a beginning, they have a middle and a conclusion. And we get so deeply engrossed that we could just lie there on our beanbag or on our couch and just read all day long. But right now, most of us don't do that because we've got other things to distract ourselves. And I really think that we should go back to yesteryear, so to speak, and actually get involved in reading. Having said that, I'm not one to be able to carry books around, and I just find them cumbersome and burdensome, and I know that there are people who love reading physical books, but I don't really. And I find that if I have something that I can bring with me, something that is lightweight, portable, and easy to use, I'm far more likely to read on a regular basis than if I have a big, giant, heavy book, because that's just where I am. And it's okay if you want to read a normal book, but for me, I like something like this. I'm not going to bother unboxing it because you've seen hundreds of videos about this. Amazon Paperwhite. This is the signature edition. Not much comes in here. I've already taken everything out. There's a package, there's a manual, there's another manual, and there is a USB-A to USB-C cable. I bought this case on Amazon as well. It's not an Amazon case, but it's exactly what I wanted, and here it is. So this is this year's iteration of the Amazon Kindle. And when I first got it the other day, I kind of freaked out a little bit and go, oh geez, this is so small. And the writing seems really small and I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but having had this now for a week, I can tell you I love this thing. There's an argument that says, why do you need to buy one of these? You've got a phone, you've got a tablet, you've got many other ways. Even if you want to read electronically and you don't want a physical book, there's all these other ways to read. Why would you want to spend money on this? And why would you want to carry around another device? Well, there's a really simple answer here, and that is this. This thing is super light. This is the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition. Compared to the standard edition, this costs about another $30 or something like that, but it has double the memory. It has a adjustable backlight. It has wireless charging if you care about that type of thing, and it's super responsive. And the difference between this and, for example, an iPad is, do you know when you start reading and then all these messages come up, you get notifications that you got a new message on TikTok, you get all these text messages and emails are coming in. What do? Are you going to say, don't worry about them, I'm just going to keep reading? You're not. You're going to click on one of those notifications, and before you know it, you're no longer reading your novel. You're now engrossed into this email about something or this message about something, and you've forgotten all about reading. 30 minutes, 1 hour later, you're still doom scrolling through whatever feed you got the notification on, and you've lost that opportunity to be creative and imaginative with your reading. Something like this allows no distractions. I don't know even if this has one, but in yesteryear, the old Kindles used to have this really shitty browser and no one ever used it. It wasn't even like it was a distraction, like the train that's going past, and that's really good timing. Anyway, I don't even know if this has a browser. If it has, it's going to suck as much as the old ones and no one's going to ever want to use it. So you're never going to want to use this thing to go on the internet to look up stuff. There's no notifications. There are no messages. There's no possibility that you're going to distract yourself with any other thing apart from actually reading the thing you want to read. So that is the benefit. Other benefits of an e-reader, it doesn't have to be Kindle. other benefits of an e-reader over a tablet is that this uses e-ink. So basically it's easier on the eyes, you don't get tired eyes so easily. This has weeks and weeks of battery life without having to charge it. Certain models like this one have water resistance. There's wireless charging if you like it. And it holds hundreds, if not thousands of books. Again, yes, an iPad does exactly the same thing, but again, it's a very distracting device. The thing about this particular Kindle is that the newest edition is super fast. The screen is super responsive. I don't want to lose my page because I'm actually reading something, but you can see it's super responsive. It's not like the older ones where you click it and it's like a second pause between you get to anything. This is really super responsive, and this is something, along with this case, which costs like 20 bucks, I can carry this everywhere safely. You can take it to the beach, you can sit by the pool, you can take it on the bus, you can just do whatever you want with it anytime you want, and it carries a number of books. If you're one of those people who like to flip between different books, like today you're in the mood to read Lord of the Rings and tomorrow you're in the mood to read a self-help book, you can have it all on the one device and you don't have to bring multiple books with you. The thing about physical books is that they're bulky, they're heavy, they get easily damaged, and they take up a lot of space, and you don't want to carry multiple books with you wherever you go. But with something like a Kindle, you can just put it in your bag and you can have it with you literally 24 hours a day. So whenever you're in a situation where you have to wait, whether it's on a bus, on a train, whether you're at a doctor's office, whether you're waiting at the motor traffic place to renew your license, whatever, you can actually take out your Kindle and start reading. There's nothing better than that. And the thing about it is, you reading an actual fiction like a novel with a story, with creativity and with imagination, you can actually get yourself engrossed in the stories. Instead of doom scrolling and just looking at the latest trends and people who are off having a holiday in the Bahamas when you're stuck in a 9-to-5, you actually get to use your imagination and actually put yourself in a position where you're part of the adventure. We all used to do this as kids and used to be super amazing and super awesome, but as adults, we've kind of just neglected ourselves in that point of view. The things that have been proven to be a good thing about reading, especially adventure stories, is that it allows us to relax. It helps us focus better on things because you're concentrating on the letters and the words on the page. It allows us to be more creative and more imaginative. It actually helps us be more articulate when we talk to others because we are actually learning new stuff. And the thing about with Kindles is that if you don't know what something means, all you have to do is press on the word and it comes up with suggestions as to what the author is meaning with this word, which is super amazing. And this is one of the reasons why, even though I've neglected myself and I haven't read for a long time, I almost feel like I've forgotten how to read. I'm right back into this whole reading business and I'm really excited about it. So having said that, now that you've got your Kindle, because that's become your device of choice and you've kind of not using physical books, and again, if you want to read physical books, that's perfectly okay as well. Where do you get your ebooks from? With different brands, with different e-readers, there's different formats, there's different ebook stores ranging from free to pay. And in general, there's things that have been published for a long time and they're found in things like the Gutenberg Library. They're things where whatever royalties and copyrights have expired now and you can actually download them legally for free. And then there are multiple ebook stores, whether it's a Kindle one, whether it's a Kobo one, whether it's the Barnes & Noble Nook one. And what I found in my experience is that when you buy stuff from those stores, they tend to be cheaper than the physical copies. You may see a book at your local bookstore for $35 and you might be able to get it from Amazon on your Kindle for like $16. So it's a good bargain. There are subscription-based plans where you can pay a certain amount a month and you can download unlimited number of books, but in my experience, most of them don't include the bestsellers. Obviously, authors, publishers want to make money. And even with stuff like Kindle Unlimited, it's not unlimited in the fact that you can download all the latest bestsellers, because you can't. Most of the latest books aren't available on Kindle Unlimited. Yes, there's millions of books that you can choose from, but if you've got specific books that are new releases, even with an unlimited subscription, you probably won't get access to those, if you know what I mean. Even with things like Everand, which is not compatible with any e-reader that doesn't have internet connectivity. I found that recently you can't get the latest bestsellers on that either. So your real option is find a book that you like, pay for it, and then download it in the format that is compatible with your device. Please bear in mind as well that one of the shortcomings to the Amazon Kindles, unfortunately, this is something I'm quite disappointed with, and I really wish that there was a way around it, but there isn't. If you have an Audible subscription, i.e. audiobooks, you can't directly download them onto your Amazon Kindle, which I think would be awesome if you could, but you can't. And whether that would be something that Amazon would introduce in the future, I doubt it, because they haven't done it for the last however many years. So you kind of need to use a different device if you have an Audible subscription, and you just don't want to get in the position where buying subscription after subscription, you've got an Audible one, then you've got a Kindle one, then you're buying all these new books, and then it becomes like $60 a month. It really depends on how you use it, depends on how many books you read, as to whether you get value from any of these plans. But if you're just a casual reader, or you're very specific and picky about the type of books you want to read, you probably want to just go ahead and buy the books individually from whatever ebook store is relevant to your device, rather than join any of these plans, because you're not necessarily going to get the book that you actually want. So finally, what is the disadvantage of having a device like this? Well, I can't think of too many. Well, obviously the initial cost of buying this thing might be a deal breaker for you. These things range somewhere between $200 and up to like even $1,000, depending on the type you want. Kindle has also released a color version. I think Kobo has one as well. I failed to see the need for a color version of an e-reader unless you read a lot of comics, because let's face it, most novels aren't printed in color, it's just words. And why do you need to pay extra for a color e-reader when it's just a bunch of words and color doesn't make any difference? Yes, you could get to the situation where you take this on a bus and there's no charge, but that's unlikely, because these things last so long that if you charge it once a month, you'll be fine. Yes, you can break these. These are not, like if you drop a book, it gets bent or something, but it doesn't break. You drop one of these, it'll probably break. However, if you drop a book in the water, it'll die, and this thing might not. So, you know, there's a trade-off for all those things. As long as you look after it, I see no reason why a Kindle would be any less durable than an actual physical book. And the benefit is you can put hundreds, if not thousands of books on a Kindle and have an entire library with you, rather than just having a single book or two. And it doesn't give you back or neck pain because you're not lugging around a kilo worth of books everywhere you go. I truly believe that Kindles are perfect for everybody, from kids to the elderly, because it is just so versatile. You can download kids' books, you can download fiction, non-fiction, how-tos, recipe books, anything that you can get as a physical book you can purchase and download for your Kindle. If you're worried about eyesight and stuff like that, there are accessibility options. Just if you can use a tablet, if you can use a phone, you can use a Kindle. You can adjust the size of the font, you can adjust the amount of light. And the thing about it is, we're in bright sunlight now, and there are no issues with the screen. There is no glare. There's nothing, you can just read straight off. It's just an ideal device. So I can't sing any higher praise for a Kindle. I have neglected myself far too long. I have let myself get too absorbed in reading nonsense and not reading stuff that actually makes me happy and relaxes me. And that is going to end right now. I've already downloaded a couple of books and I'm already into reading a couple of new series. There is just an unlimited range and number of books for every single genre, whether you like fantasy, whether you like reading Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter, whether you like reading stuff that helps you relax and self-help financial guides, whether you want to read about crime, whether you want to read romance, whether you want to read kids books, whether you want to read non-fiction, you want to read biographies, it's all here. There's nothing else you need apart from just this tiny little tablet and a case to keep you entertained no matter where you are, without you having to go on your phone constantly reading up about other people's crap. So I highly, highly recommend that you get yourself an e-reader if you don't have one. It doesn't have to be the latest version. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, as long as it's something that allows you to transfer books easily onto your device and start reading. So it'll make you smarter, it'll make you more relaxed, it'll help you keep focus, it'll make you more imaginative, it'll just make you a happier person. And we all want to see you as a happier person. And the whole point of life is to be happy, and if an e-book makes you happy, you got to do it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Remember to give me a like. Leave a comment below and let me know what book you're reading right now, so that I might get interested in your book and I might start reading the stuff that you suggest. But until next time, remember to subscribe. Have a great day. Enjoy your reading. See ya.